Hi guys, just me, the Big B. It's been a while since I've done a video, but I've been busy. It's coming up to Christmas. But I'm going to do another quick video on this, the LG Optimus, or what they nicknamed as the LG Swift in some countries. Really nice mid-range phone. Got its plus points, got its minus points. Plus points, 600 megahertz, and it outperforms some of the gigahertz processor phones in as in 3D speed, not actually in phone operation itself, but in 3D speed, quite impressive. And I've had the Galaxy S's and the HTC Desires and things, and for a mid-range phone that costs less than half of one of those phones, I think full whack these are only £100. I only paid 90 for this one, it was brand new, but in Car Phone Warehouse they're only £100 anyway. The only minus point for me with it is it's resistive touchscreen, not capacitive, which means it can be a little bit temperamental. You've got to, as anyone's used a resistive, it works off pressure rather than actually detecting your finger on there. You've got to put a little bit of pressure on, and it's not quite as accurate, but you can get away with that. As a phone, it came with Android 1.6, but it's hard to see there, but that's not Android 1.6. There was an official firmware update come out straight away. You see, it still reacts to me touch pretty well, to upgrade it to 2.1, which I did. But what I wanted to do was get the recovery image on it, like I've done with any other phone. And people who know what I'm talking about, a recovery image is a special boot up that you can do that makes the phone pretty much unbrickable. You can press home and power on one of these phones, and you get once you've flashed it on, you get a recovery image, which means you can make a backup of the phone, you can flash new custom ROMs, you can do all sorts, and it pretty much means if anything happens to the phone, you can just boot back up into that and restore the phone back to how it was before you started. So it can kind of unbrickable. But on this phone, it wasn't as easy as on the others. Rooting was, there's lots of one-click rooting things out there now. If you do a Google for them, one of them I've got several. One of them you just plug your phone in, click a bat file on your computer, job done. The one I used, you actually put it on your phone and install it as a little program, run it, root your phone, take it back off. Just as easy. So rooting, 2 seconds and you've got root. Flashing this recovery image on was a different story. The way it works on these phones, they have what's called a fast boot mode. But it's not activated. It's kind of like a diagnostic engineering mode that you're not supposed to be able to get to. But you can't just activate it on your phone as is. What you have to do is get a modified ROM as if you were going to flash it, and there is one out. If you go to XDA developers, they have it there. It's a UK ROM, so you're not flashing like another country's half-diddled ROM that only half of the stuff works, because like some of these baked ROMs are a bit temperamental. This is the full UK ROM that just came out, but someone diddled it to activate the fast boot mode. So what I did is I had to use a special program, a hacked version of an updating program, which was dead easy. Plug the phone in, got obviously the new firmware file. It's in a KZ format of some sort. Run this special program. You've got a drop-down menu. All you've got to do is pick the right setting out there, which on XDA developers it does tell you which one. You must pick the right one, but if you look on a downloading it, it tells you all about it anyway. You browse for your file. Your ROM file, click go. 10 minutes later, phone was done, and all I had to do then was boot into fast mode, which is a combination of key presses with the phone. I can't remember exactly which way they are now, but you basically combination of key presses. The phone backlight comes on, but the screen stays blank. The phone doesn't boot, but the backlight is on. You're in fast mode. Plugged it in. It installed a couple of drivers. Then I used Android SDK. Tools folder, ADB shell. Hopefully people who are watching this will kind of know what I'm talking about there. And I just used a command fast boot, flash image, blah blah blah, pointed it at the image file, the recovery image, which was a modified one for this phone. It was, you've got Clockwork recovery image, or I used one called ARM, and it was the recovery ARIA1 7 Swift recovery file. Basically, type the command in, bang, 2 seconds, it was on the phone. Turned the phone off, pressed home, power, you're into your recovery mode. and from there you can do which was what I did a full backup of the phone. So now if anything goes wrong, even if I flash another ROM and it completely messes the phone up, I can just boot up into the recovery mode and just do a nan restore, puts the phone back to how it was the instant I flashed it with the new thing, with a fast boot already enabled. So basically the phone is unbrickable. So if I want to mess on with other ROMs later on I can. But now with the recovery image on, I can flash ROMs direct from the SD card. I don't have to mess about with programs on the PC and putting it into any fast boot mode. I can just flash it and it's done. That's the beauty of having a recovery image and the fact you can back up your phone. I will go into more detail about that on another video. I'm not going to go into lots of detail on exactly how I did it and what programs I used. This is just a quick video just to explain a bit about the fact you can do it, and it's, you know, it is possible. It's not, like I say, maybe it's as easy as what it could have been, but it's still possible and it worked fine. And obviously once you've got that on, you've got root, and you can put nice little programs on like that one there. I don't think you can see it there. Get off message. That's just a service not available because of the internet. The internet's digging up at the minute. Applnet. It's basically the alternate app store where you can get all your apps for free, just like the iPhone Installius, and it's really, really nice, guys. I really like it. You can get anything, apps, games, full everything, brilliant, and it works flawlessly. Really works. And the phone itself, as you can see, it's trying to get it in camera, trying to get it in shot. It's quite smooth still. You know, for the type of screen it is, it's really smooth. With a 2.1 update, you get live wallpapers just like on all the other phones. Little weather thing, and you can put anything you want on it. It runs all sorts. You got as you can see, it's not that laggy. Everything seems to run quite smooth. For the fact that it's a mid-range phone, so far everything's really, really smooth. I run the benchmarks. I've ran some pretty intensive 3D games, and they're very smooth. Considering it hasn't got a lot of memory, because that's one of its other failings, it hasn't got a lot of internal memory. I think I've only got, like, after I've took a couple of things off that came in the ROM, I used titanium backup, and what that allows you to do, you can actually remove system apps that are taken up with the ones you don't want. This came pre-installed with the Sims 3, which I didn't want, so I used titanium backup thing to remove that and save a bit of space. But apart from not having a great deal of space within the phone itself, it's very impressive for a £100 Android phone. This one, I don't know whether they all do, this one came with a 4GB SD card, which is a bit of a shame that you can't do apps to SD. You can activate it, but it's different to what it is on Froyo. On Froyo you can just install the app straight onto the SD card. You've got a thing on here called apps to SD, but it just copies all the apps that's on there to SD, but it doesn't keep copying them over. It still just copies what's there, and anything else you install after that seems to just sit on your phone still. So I didn't bother with that, but they are working on a Froyo build for the phone. There is already one in production. That would be great if you could install direct to the thing, because like I say, with a 4GB card. What else can I say? It's only got a 3-megapixel camera with no flash, but it seems quite decent. There's no 720p video recording in this, which is a bit of a shame, because damn sure the processor could handle it. And the Xperia X10, which I did a update on one of them to 2.1, that actually allowed you to do 720p. So, but still not a major problem. It takes decent photos. You can take some video, and again, you've got to remember, it's only a £100 phone. So I was quite impressed with that. But yeah, rooted, new modified well, not modified, it's standard, but with the fast boot enabled, now with the recovery ROM on. Really, really cool. Everything seems to work fine. It's not going to be no HTC Desire. It's, you know, you're not going to text, and you've got to go a little bit slower with the screen there. But if you just want a cheap and cheerful Android phone that's kind of does what you need it to do, and you can still have your root, you can still have your Applnet with your apps to SD, not apps to SD, Applnet, so you can get your all your full price games, I definitely recommend it. A lot of people have said it's not very good. The build quality is only plastic and things, but it still feels fairly sturdy. It feels good in the hand. Sound quality seems pretty good. Which if you can think, I just got a text message there. So yeah, guys, I may do another video if you want, telling you a bit more. But if you go to XDA Developers, you can find anything you need on there about all Android phones, and that's where I got all the information to do this. There's pages and pages. There's a full section dedicated just to this phone. So get yourself over to there, and get yourself on. I may post a link with this video just to get you onto the right section, because it can be sometimes a pain to find out where you want to be in XDA Developers, and that will get you to the section that has this phone. Then you can pick where you want to be from there. So I'm going to leave it there, guys, because we've gone over the 10 minutes now, and like I say, if you request or anybody thinks, I may make another video and go into a bit more detail about what I did. But that's it for now. Like I say, definitely worth having a look at, and not a bad little phone for the price. So catch you next time, guys.